first edition of Cold Beer Conversations, and we have
Evan Webb,
Adam Hellman.
there we go, from the Evan Webb and the Rural Route Ramblers.
Well, you know, and that's true, but we changed it because people have such a hard time saying it. Yes, we did, so we decided we'd drop it off, so it's just Evan Webb now.
Oh, I like that.
We still have merchandise that says that, so we're going to be building a large-scale cannon to shoot those out at small shows from now on.
Like one of those pumpkin cannons?
You're right,
Okay.
and it'll be filled with t-shirts.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
we know who the star of the show is.
So who's the band about?
It's about everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody that comes out.
So we'll start with you. So where are you from?
I'm from right here where we're sitting, McClure, Illinois.
McClure, Illinois. Okay.
Born and raised, never left. It's not depressing in any way.
So is this, I was driving through and I recognized that it's pretty small town feel.
I think our population is an average from year to year is probably, I'd say, 300.
Oh, wow. That is pretty small. Are you from around here too?
I'm actually from Central Illinois,
Okay.
so up north of Springfield.
Okay.
Similarly small town.
Small town?
Yeah.
So how long have you been, I guess, singing country music or playing or writing, or what was your first kind of dabble into the country music scene?
Well, I don't know, for some reason I just knew that I wanted to play acoustic guitar and sing songs since I was a kid, and my mom took me to take lessons over at the local music store in Missouri. I did that for a while, and then I got my arm broken and quit playing for years.
How old were you when you did that?
I was probably 8. I started when I was 5, and I took lessons till I was about 8, and then I got my arm broken and I quit playing because I just couldn't figure out how to make the chords with that cast
Yeah.
on. But then when I was a kid, me and my brother started the sweet corn business, and he was working at the sawmill during the day, so I had to sit out front of our house and sell corn. I had nothing better to do, so I thought, well, I'll get that old guitar out of the case and taught myself some chords, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And what age was that?
I was probably 13.
Awesome. So when did you start playing shows? Do you remember your first show that you ever played?
First show I ever played? I don't know. It was probably like the Civic Center in Grand Tower, Illinois, or something, for some kind of crazy thing. I used to be in a rock band in high school.
I feel like that's a pretty common start for some other country musicians have seemed to have started in either a punk rock band or a grunge rock band, and then they developed into country.
We probably thought we were punk rock, and that probably should be a good classification of what it was.
Yeah.
Country starts being cool when you're just a little grown up.
Yeah.
When you're young, you got to make some noise.
It's the mature thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when did you start getting into the country scene, I guess?
Oh shoot! I mean, when I was a kid, I loved country music, and it's something that I always kind of stayed with as a teenager, and I sort of moved away from it. And when I was learning to play the guitar, I moved away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I started right around when I was a freshman in high school. I'm not going to tell you how long it's been, but
everyone out there will start doing their math.
Yeah.
Too long for us to be this bad at it.
Yeah. And when I started playing, I was listening to a lot of blues, a lot of like Eric Clapton's his entire career, and the Stevie Ray Vaughan, the stuff that kids pick up on whenever they're young. And I really didn't get back into country guitar playing probably until about 4 years ago.
Okay.
3 years ago. I always liked that sound. I listened to those records. It was just never something that I had done actively. Is play country guitar. And, play guitar. There are certain things stylistically that you do when you play country guitar. So I kind of got back into that about 4 years ago, and really started playing a lot when I joined Evan's band.
And when was that?
I joined up officially with them in January 2015.
And now, what is your role with his band?
I play guitar primarily.
Okay.
He writes half the material though, and helps me with a lot of writing if I'm stuck with a song. Like, namely Drive or Drown said, hey, I got this idea that I think would be really cool, but I can't figure it out. Here's what I've got. Let's sit down and let's work this out, and that's how that entire song came about.
I spent all the money on playing guitar though.
Yeah. So was Drive or Drown your first album you released?
Yeah, that's our first studio album. That's the first time I've ever completed an album. I've been in a studio, but that's the first time I've ever completed an album inside a studio.
And you released it almost a year to date, so February 2016.
Right.
Yeah. We
Freshman album.
We probably right about now is when we polished it off and wrapped it up and submitted it, and by the time that we actually got it out, out in the world, it's probably a week or two from now. So yeah.
So your album Drive or Drown, the song that is your title track of the title track, and you also have a video that goes along with that.
Yes.
So you've got some recognition for that video along as the song. Is that correct?
That is correct. There was SavingCountryMusic.com, which also has a Facebook feed that they do, and it was nominated for Song of the Year and Video of the Year.
Oh wow! This year?
This year, and
Cool.
It ended up winning Video of the Year.
Oh wow!
And
So 2017 Video of the Year, Saving Country Music, is Drive or Drown. That's pretty cool.
that's cool.
I have to say probably more flattering things with some of the company that we're in. When you look at everything that happened in 2016 and some of the songs that came out, and
There's some huge artists that
Oh,
really
yeah.
made strides in
I mean,
16.
yeah, we were on that list with Parker Millsap, Chris Stapleton, Brady Carlisle.
Brady Carlisle.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
forget
not fooling around.
Yeah.
So,
Us for a cold beer drink.
Oh,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Bastard Brothers.
American Lager. Which one do you have?
I have the American Lager, which I'm enjoying.
Which one do you have?
I've got the wheat.
The wheat.
Why do you
So
say?
they have two varieties, and I think they're both equally good.
Yeah,
I've only had the American Lager. You've had the wheat.
That's delicious. I can feel bad decisions coming on already.
Awesome. If we were to go and turn on your MP3 player right now, or your CD player, what would we hear?
Well, for me, I've been listening to a lot of Bruce Springsteen lately, which is somebody that I come back to time and time again. Parker Millsap's last album, The Very Last Day, is something I've been listening to a lot. Ry Cooder. We just got done listening to a bunch of Tom Petty.
Yeah, I've got too much.
But it varies. I'm feeling something different.
Depends on the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have some show and tell. So
I do.
Who are you listening to right now on your
I was
record
saying
player?
earlier I was in a rock band, but the whole time I was in that rock band, I was listening to Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen, Hot Licks and Cold Steel. Greatest album you'll ever purchase in your life. Maybe.
Evan listens to records.
Records. I just don't get down with the technology too much.
Who got you that?
Adam actually got me that. I had it on 8-track until the 8-track player ate it and destroyed it. And so I spent a couple of years until Adam actually got me that on vinyl. So thank you, Adam.
Yeah, getting a hold of Evan's hell. We got to hit him on his pager and
You have to send a letter.
send a fax.
Yeah.
Send the carrier pigeon
Yeah.
to drop off your present for him.
I'm still trying to figure out how an iPhone works.
Yeah. So you guys had a hit YouTube video. That was kind of what sparked kind of your traction for your album when you released it. But your video came out before your album. Is that correct?
It did. And,
Okay.
if we were smart, maybe we wouldn't have done that. But it was all kind of a timing thing.
The timing was right. It was kind of how it all went down was we played a New Year's Eve show. I mean, obviously, when the water starts to come up down here, you have a few days of notice. But we played our New Year's Eve show. We went and Evan said as we were picking up, he's like, hey, if you could come help me get my stuff out of my house, it'd be super appreciated.
Yeah.
So, but the day before, on New Year's Eve day, so they called this flood the New Year's flood, and it was of historic proportions, and we debated putting another track on the album, and I was looking at the news, and I either sent him a text or gave him a call. I don't remember what I did. I said, "Hey, dude, we gotta do a video."
Well,
I mean,
it was funny because we had this big idea for the video. It was kind of like a John Cougar Mellencamp thing, where I wanted to interview people in the area and get them on the video, and talk about living in the area and what it's like, economically, socially, everything, what they've seen over the years. And Adam texted me and said, "Hey, we should get some footage of the high water." I was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And then we ended up just recording the entire video.
So you actually shot the video here in town here?
Around town and in the local area, because that's what the song was based off of.
That's where the flood was happening, and we had a guy that we'd met not that long before, who actually primarily shoots rap videos, and Reggie Miller, and shot by Reginald if you're looking on Facebook, and who does fantastic work. And they went out and shot it. And when we were moving Evan's stuff out of his house, and I think it was in between the washer and the dryer. Like, he's got a stacked up washer and dryer. And we carried one out, and I was probably cussing him for that. And then Evan said, "Well, Reggie just let me know that it's up." So I went and watched it, and I shared it on Facebook, and we finished loading Evan out of his house. And then we got his stuff unloaded, and then we noticed that there was a lot of traffic on the Facebook post itself. Unusually so. We hadn't been a band for all that long, and
Was that the first video you guys had done?
Oh yeah.
Music,
At that point, we'd only been a band in like a year and a half.
I hadn't been in the band. I hadn't even been in the band a year. Yeah. Something was going on. We didn't know exactly what. We just knew that people had taken interest in it and had started sharing it around. And the next thing we knew, we had actually left our stuff at the bar. We had to go back at like 4 after we got to packing Evan out and
pack up our stuff
and pack up our music gear. And at that point in time, like 10,000 people had seen.
That's a lot.
Yeah, seen the video
in like 5 hours. It was
it was amazing.
Insane.
And it's a really cool feeling when when you do something from an honest place, and then people connect with it, because that's really what happened with that song. It was a very hard thing for a lot of people around here, and in the circumstances in which it happened, you wished that your success
was based upon
could happen in some other context, but.
And I don't know if you've seen, but I looked the other day. I was just doing somebody made a hashtag about the song, and I followed that hashtag as far as I can follow it. And there were actually people in California right now, with all the rain that they're getting, who were sharing that song, saying, "Oh, this is a song about us right now."
I could see how it would kind of become an anthem for anybody that's dealing with that situation.
Yeah.
Especially the people in St. John that dealt with the flood. I could see that. At almost the same time period, I think you guys were dealing with the same issue down here.
Well, and not long after, 2 months after everything that happened here, they had all that flooding down in Texas.
Yeah.
And it may not have even been that long afterwards. And whatever town that Ray Wiley Hubbard lives in was essentially wiped out. It was devastation down there, and. I think even some folks down there were listening to it, and I guess the cool thing about that is that at the end of the day, that's it's a shared experience. That's what that shows you is that
you connect on a different level.
You've understood the feeling of being completely out of control of your situation. And,
it's a hard thing to do too.
And that's what that song's really about. In a big way.
So originally, when you guys sat down and wrote "Dry Up or Drown," where did your inspiration come from? Was it from a previous flood that you had experienced here, or was there another different emotional connection to it?
Well, my original idea was just that, as far as this being the most southern county in the state of Illinois, it seems to be overlooked, and slowly, from just the time, I grew up here, but from the time I've been alive, you can see the decline of the social aspect, the economical aspect, just everything within the southern half of the state just slowly seems to die. And that's where my idea for Dry Up or Drown came from. Is either the river's going to take us and it's going to come back to what it always was originally, was a river bottom before anyone settled here, or it's going to dry up economically to the point where no one can even survive to live here, so everyone will just have to move away. So that's where Dry Up or Drown came from, and I had some ideas, and I couldn't pan them out, verbally. So I took it to Adam and said, "Hey, this is my idea. This is what it's about. Help me out."
I like it.
And that's a big part of our song. Our songwriting dynamic is that Evan's thinking all the time about song ideas and stuff like that, and my contribution doesn't always serve the song. I don't always end up contributing to a song that we do. But one of the things that I think I do, which happened here, is that because of those guys like Bruce Springsteen and John Prine that I like, when you listen to those songs, the narrators in those songs are always so present. Things kind of suck, but there's a hope kind of out of it.
They create an image for you.
Yeah, and so kind of borrowing on that, you have to take that concept of the fact that, and it's not that different from living in any small town, is that you feel like at the very least if you don't live next to a river and it's not going to come and overwhelm you, you're hanging on by a thread. Like it just really is. It's that way anymore. Even in the most stable small towns, it's different than it used to be. And that you have to put that in human terms.
Yeah.
You have to read.
You really, with that song, you guys do a really good job of painting the picture. I feel like you can listen to that song and really see the struggles that people go through in a small town, but then you can also relate it to the physical aspect of a river coming and taking you away versus the emotional aspect where your inspiration came from. So I think you guys did a marvelous job at that. So I think that concludes. Anything else you'd like to touch on?
This is good beer.
Yeah? All right, good. So we'd like to thank our sponsors, Bastard Brothers Brewing Company. We are looking for other local brewery sponsors to sponsor other cold beer conversation segments or rounds. We're going to call them rounds.
Rounds?
But get you another round, right?
Oh, that's
slogan.
There you go.
Send me a 12-pack.
So you want to get us another round? Hit us up for sponsorship.
This is fun.
I think we polished off the 6-pack, so I could say it was probably a good beer. So cheers.
Cheers. Cold beer conversation.
Cold beer conversation.
Let's play something new. What do you say?
A new one. Let's do that. Let's do that one. The 2 letters.
Can I get down with that?
All right. Let's start at C.
Sure.
Okay. Once for my Eddie and
tell